Hello everyone, before we start the tutorial, let me remind you that I have created the website where you can download the detailed and fully parametric Revit families and you can use them in your architectural and interior design projects. So for now I have uploaded these 4 folders in which you can have these doors, windows, the center tables and these columns. And if you want to see what are the different types of the families available, you can look at these images. And the price depicted here is of the complete folder, not of the individual file. And also if you want to look at what are the parameters of these blocks and these families, you can look at these videos where I've explained about the parameters and how you can change their values to change the dimensions of the blocks. So now let's start the tutorial. Today's tutorial is about creating and placing the wooden trusses under a pitched roof, and you can see in this tutorial that how easy it is to create the trusses in the Revit and then place them in under a roof. And also created a detailed tutorial on trusses. The link is given below in the description box. Do check that out as well, and if you have any query you can ask me anytime. So now let's open the file. First of all, I'm going to create the roof in the architectural template project file, and for that select the roof command in the architecture tab, and by default I'm going to place this roof on level 2. So I have created this rectangle by the boundary line, and then I'm going to uncheck the slope of these 3 sides, and so our roof with slope on one side has been created and it looks like this. Now go to 3D top view, and here I am going to create the other part of the roof. For that again select the roof command, and now I'm going to create another rectangle like this. And for this uncheck the slope of these 2 lines, and now the roof has been created like this. Now I want to join these 2 roofs together, and if you want you can also change the slope of the roof by changing the value from here. Now select the join roof command in the modify tab and select this line, then select this line, and the roof has joined together. But if you look on the bottom part of this slope, you will see that we need an opening which is not there. For that, go to the structure tab and select the dormer command, then select this roof, and then select this roof, and you see that these pink lines has appeared there. Trim this to make them one closed loop, and now when you look on the other side of the below side of the roof, you can see that the opening has been created and it looks like this. Now let's place truss under this roof. For that, open a new family template file of structural trusses, and then it already has these built-in reference planes and the constraints. Let's change the value. These are all of the trusses which are created in this template file are parametric, so you don't need to worry about the dimensions. So let's create the top chord, bottom chord and the web for the roof, and I have already explained in detail about the trusses and everything you need to know about them. The link to that tutorial is given below in the description box. Now save and load this truss into the project, and let's go to the 3D top view and select this truss command, and you can see that a truss is available. It has been loaded into this project, and then place it on the under the roof. Now you can see that it does not have a thickness or anything. For that, check this fine, and you can see that it is now a steel iron truss. And for that, load a family in the structural framing tab folder, wood folder, and that temper family file loaded into the project. And when you open the properties tab of this truss, you can change the uh, material of the truss. I have also explained this in detail in that trusses tutorial. The link is given below in the description box. And now let's create some changes within this so that they are joined perfectly together, those wooden elements. So for that, press tab, and for the single selection of the temper, unpin it, and then you can move these tempers with the help of these arrows. So for single selection of the temper, you have to press tab button on the keyboard and unpin it, as you can see in the video. This part is also available in the trusses tutorial. Now once you have done this, go to the modify tab and select the cop command, and then select this, and you can see that these tempers have uh, joined perfectly together with the other temper. Now once you have done this, select the truss and you can move it with the help of move command. Simply uncheck the constraint and select the check the disjoint, and you can see that the slope of the truss does not join with the slope of the roof. For that, let's see what is its height. 16 feet 4 inches. Now let's select this truss and change its height from this dialog box. And by changing the values and by moving the truss, you can set the truss. Still it needs to change a little bit of its value. Let's change it to 15 feet 16 feet, and still it does not match. Let's change it to 15 feet 11 inches, and let's move it and check the constraint, and still it needs to change its value. Let's move it to 15 feet 9 inches, and it looks perfect now. Now let's move it. So now it is perfectly placed under the roof. Now let's go to the bottom view of the 3D and select the truss. Select the array command and move this truss to the last, and like this. And now you can add as many trusses as you want by simply adding the value here. Let's say I have added 20 trusses under this part of the roof, and it looks like this. And you can see how easy it is to place multiple trusses under a single roof. Now let's create a new family of the trusses for the other part of the roof. For that, again open the structural trusses template file and Again, let's create a truss as shown in the video. Now let's load it into the project, and now let's place it under the roof. Again, adjust the settings of the truss and apply the cook command, and after that let's move it to its position. You can change the span of the truss by moving with the help of arrows, but with the help of those little blue dots, and you can also change the height of the truss. Let's move it to 12 feet, and let's move this truss. Again, apply the array command for this truss as well. Let's place it, set the second one at 2 feet 2 inches, and let's change the number to 20. Change the number of trusses to 17, and then select these last 4 trusses, because we have to change their dimensions and the position. Ungroup it, then select this truss and change its span by dragging these little blue dots. Go to the west elevation, set the view to wireframe, and then you can see that I want to uh, change the height of these trusses, these last 4 trusses. For that, select it and change its values from here. Now I need some more trusses on this last corner of this pitched roof, and but for that truss I don't need the internal web. So for that you can also delete the web of this existing truss, but I would prefer that to create a new truss in the family template file of the structural trusses. So let's do that. Create the truss, and that truss is not going to have a web. It will just have a simple line, central line for it. Save and load it into the project. Go to the 3D bottom view, and you can see this little triangle. We have to place it here, and to place it at its exact position, let's add some model lines. So for that I should know that where I have to place this truss. Now place the truss here. Also apply the cop command to this truss as well, and then change its dimensions, that is its height, and then move it to its position by going to the west elevation. Now place two more trusses in the bottom view of the 3D. Change their span by dragging these little blue arrow, the blue dots, and also change their height by changing the value in that dialog box of that truss. And so all of the trusses has been properly placed in their position, and it looks like this. And you can see that how easy it is to place these trusses under a pitched roof in Revit, and you don't need to create much of an exercise for it. It is very simple. You just need to change the span and the height, and then you move it with the help of the move command. And also it is very easy to create a structure, a truss family in that structural trusses template file. You just need to create place the lines, and the truss will automatically be created. So that's all for today. I hope you like this tutorial. If you have any kind of difficulty or query related to Revit, you can ask me anytime. I will meet you guys in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care. And most importantly, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.